Hello and welcome to Flutzes and Waxels, a figure skating podcast to satisfy all of your skating news, analysis, and recap needs. I'm Mary Margaret Mertzos.
And I'm Alicia Mertzos, and we're sisters with a lifelong love for figure skating, practicing, watching, and discussing. So let's delve deep into what's happened in the skating world this week.
Which unfortunately is not much happening, but at least we've got end of season lists to carry us on until we figure out what happens after all this.
Yeah, what are we going to do next? We don't know. We haven't decided, but we have 3 list episodes left.
Exactly. So this will hopefully fill your time. This particular episode will be the best of the pairs of this season. And this list is a fascinating one. We are again continuing to disagree a whole lot.
But also kind of agree a lot.
Yes. This, and we talked about all season, this was a bit of a tough season for pairs.
Yeah.
We need just more pair skating in the world. Unfortunately, all this off-season stuff is not going to help with that.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if it's better rather than worse next season. But all that to say, there is a strong Russian contingent on this list.
There is, but that's okay. We love Russian pairs anyway, and they're the best that we've got right now.
Exactly.
Mostly.
Exactly. It's not all Russian. It's only half Russian, to be clear.
We checked. It's half.
Yeah.
But before we get into this list.
Yes. A reminder, this episode is brought to you by our sponsor, InSkate. InSkate is an app with resources for skaters and those of us who'd like to train like skaters.
With videos on all kinds of skating elements, which are presented to you by top Russian skaters and coaches, including off-ice exercises. If right now you'd like to train like a skater at home, you can do most of them without equipment. Check out the link in the description of this episode for the link to InSkate and get your 3-day free trial.
And yeah, if you want to be trained by some of the, people we'll be talking about here, those Russian pair coaches know what they're doing, obviously.
They really do. And there's not a ton of pairs content on InSkate right now, but it is growing.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll have more pairs content for other pair skaters who...
more pair skaters in the world. Who
could use that Russian training on their twists.
Yep.
In particular.
Yes. All right. So just quick refresher, if this is the first of our list episodes you've ever listened to, we each create a top 10. We can each only put one program per skater or team on it. We, assign numbers to our list. So
1
number
through
1.
10.
Yep. First place gets 10 points, down to 10th place getting 1 point. We amalgamate to create the final list.
To create a monster, Frankenstein's monster of a list.
Yep. And any tiebreakers
are alphabetical.
Yeah. There is... skaters and teams are just tied. We'll just talk about them alphabetically just because that makes it easier.
Yeah. And like we said, very strong Russian contingent on this list, but there are lots of interesting teams, including junior teams. This is your now bi-weekly PSA to watch junior skating.
Yep, exactly. Particularly the ones in this list.
Junior Russian pairs, my fave.
Yep.
We will get to them. We're also going to work from bottom to top.
Yep.
So we'll work our way up to our number 1 team. And we pick these programs not based on their technical merits. This has, most of the time, nothing to do with the quality of the elements and everything to do with the program components.
Although I think it is fair to say that especially in pairs, a clean program helps sell a program always. And to be fair, I think that's at least in good part why there are so many Russian teams on here, because they can sell a great program and, land all the elements for the most part and just make it more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. So that's a factor, but the main thing we consider, particularly when it comes to ranking these lists, is which programs would I give the highest interpretation and choreography marks.
Yep, exactly. So let's get started. There are 15 programs in total on the list, and of course we start off with a tie.
We almost always do.
Yes.
Because we almost always disagree with who gets that surprisingly coveted number 10 spot. That is actually the toughest spot to assign, at least for me.
Yeah, I agree. Who gets on the list and who gets left off is always a tough call.
When you get near the end, you're always left with a long list of skaters or teams. Less so in pairs because there's just less of them.
Yeah.
But you have a list and you have to pick who gets that coveted number 10 spot. This is usually not a participation trophy.
Yes, exactly.
These are teams we generally really like.
Mm-hmm. So, our tie for 14th, I had Haza and Siegert's short program, number 10 on my list.
And I had Ilya Sheshkina and Bilodeau's free skate, number 10 on my list.
So if we start with Haza and Siegert, this German team, again, if you're not familiar, they skated to open hands this season. They have been on the Grand Prix the last couple of seasons and have struggled technically in their free skates, but I always love their short programs. Yeah. And this particular short program just works for them so well. She emotes to the rafters in this, just beautiful, soft, just simple pairs skating. And it's not a complex melody. It's not complex choreography going on, but it's just beautiful skating throughout.
Yeah. And it really shows off the strength of their short programs.
Yeah.
Because while he especially struggles with stamina in the second half of a free skate, that problem does not exist in the short program.
Exactly.
And so they're able to show off how emotive and graceful she is because he is strong enough to get through that whole short program confident and secure, so she can be confident and secure.
Yeah, that's the main thing about this short program in particular to me is their free skates always make me a little bit nervous about the technical content, but they just seem serene and calm and like they can go out there and enjoy themselves in the short program. And I think this is one where the technical really helps them, but I do also think that this style of skating, just again, simple and lyrical, really suits them well. And when they try and do something more rock and roll like they do for the free skate, it doesn't show them off nearly as well.
Yeah, especially because when they're maintaining their stamina through the whole program, you can really see the quality of the basic skating. And sometimes when you cover that in a fun program, if you're not the most amazing skater, it kind of disappears because you get wrapped up in the energy.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
As opposed to a more simple program, you can really show off how capable they are. Yeah, this program really, really works for them. And Mark Pillay is a fantastic choreographer who
you can tell gets them and what will show them off to, their best abilities.
Yeah, he's not choreographing to show him off. He's choreographing to show them off, which is the hallmark of a great choreographer.
Yeah, again, especially for pairs.
Yes.
And then we had Ilya Sheshkina and Bilodeau's free skate. And this one's a hard one to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this very quickly and then we're not gonna talk about it again, okay? Charlie Bilodeau retired from figure skating. If you missed it, it was dramatic.
Like last week or something.
Yeah, it was dramatic. I almost took them off the list so that we didn't have to talk about it because unfortunately this is not the first time he has blindsided a partner.
Yeah.
And that is gross.
And really frustrating, especially since, this program was one I also debated putting on my list because it's just
innovative and beautiful and perfect.
And shows off the potential that this pairing had that now, sadly, is...
She came out of retirement for you and you gave her one season. I'm irritated. Especially because, so again, if you missed it or you didn't read his French article, he wrote to the CBC announcing his retirement before he told her or their coaches.
He wrote it, and then he told them, and then I think it was like less than 24 hours later it was published, kind of a thing. So they did know before
it was published.
Yeah, before it was published, but barely so.
And also, if I know anything, which I do, about news article turnarounds, CBC knew first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
CBC was the first person he told,
that
is
not in any question whatsoever, which, just if you're going to break up with your partner, just tell them, give them like a week to process it. And then if you want to explain yourself to the media, okay, fine.
Great.
But
you have every right to explain yourself to the media.
You have every right to retire as well. If he's not feeling it, go for it. But we can do this in a more sensitive manner.
And it sounds like he's been having some struggles. But your personal struggles do not give you the right to hurt the people around you. Which is what he did twice.
Yeah.
I love this program, and it's on the list because of that last lift.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again,
he ruined this program by doing what he did, because I should be raving about how amazing it was.
Well, and that's the thing, too. It's not often, at least recently, that you see real innovation in pair skating. That lift, that Group 4 lift right at the end of the free skate.
Lift.
Yeah, it's just so cool and made me gasp the first time I saw it.
It made me gasp every time I saw it, because it got better every time. She got more confident in it. Mm-hmm. And despite the fact that they were together less than a year, they suited each other as skaters so well. And
that's the thing, too. They didn't always skate this free skate perfectly cleanly, but you could see, because both of them are really strong pair skaters, and this matchup had all the potential in the world. This free skate really showed it off, and it's just a shame that this is the beginning and the end of this pairing.
And that it ended the way that it did. Yeah. Because this should be a bittersweet, happy-ish moment. It should be, yes, potential unfulfilled, but look at what we got out of them anyway. Yeah. And instead, I'm just mad. And I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. Be kind to your partners. Even if you just think of them as a business partner.
You should still treat your business partner like a person.
Exactly. When you quit your job, you're supposed to, theoretically, give at least a 2-week notice. Can you at least do the same to your business partner, please?
Exactly. More than 24 hours at a bare minimum.
Exactly.
Not okay.
Yeah. But let's move on. Next up on the list, in 13th, we have Lorianne Matt and Terry Furland's short program this season to Awoo, which, if you have not seen this program, and it's entirely likely that you have not, because they
did 1 or 2 challengers.
Yeah, mainly just competed domestically. They're a Canadian team, but they're a really young team, and this is a really fun song, and it just brings out the youthfulness. It doesn't feel like a junior program. No. It just feels like a really fun, enjoyable pairs program.
It feels like the perfect blend between show skating and competition skating. Mm-hmm. Because it is high energy, big performance. They clearly love it. They're little hams from start to finish.
Just the opening choreography. Even if you watch nothing else, where he's sort of crouched down and she's laying over his back and they have the synchronized arm movements, it's a great way to start. I suspect it's Julie Marcotte choreography.
Here's
However,
the problem.
None of their bios are updated.
The ISU Patinage Quebec and Skate Canada have all apparently not updated their bios.
And Wikipedia. Yeah. Wikipedia is also not updated.
We looked. We double check choreographers when we do this. Mm-hmm. Nowhere to be found. Julie Marcotte has historically been their choreographer, which is why we're making this assumption. But we don't know for sure.
Whoever did it, it's a great piece of choreography. Amazing. And again, just shows off, because they're very recently out of junior skating. Mm-hmm. And again, they have not competed internationally a ton, but this program to me, and to be clear, this was when I put number 9 on my list. As soon as I saw it in one of the, summer competitions, I went, okay, they're stepping it up.
Yeah.
And, I expect we'll see lots of, repeats of programs next season. This is one for sure that I wouldn't mind them keeping for another year, especially since, they didn't really compete internationally that much.
They didn't get the opportunity to compete this to its fullest potential. Mm-hmm. They came close.
Yeah, Canadian Nationals was probably their best skate of it. That went really well.
It was really good, but I know that these two have more potential, so I do hope that for multiple reasons they keep it for next season. Also, so they can continue to develop the tech content, which is not super competitive at the senior level yet. Mm-hmm. But they're growing really quickly, and I'm really excited about these two.
Well, and again, there have been a few breakups in the Canadian pair skating scene, so just stick together, you guys.
Please.
And then you can get the assignments.
I'm not okay with the state of Canadian pair skating right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm trying not to bring too much of a downer into this, but I suspect it's going to be everywhere, and especially in pairs. Yeah. I am afraid for the state of pair skating next season, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
Oh, I really hope that these pairs stick it out because we need all of them too.
Yeah. Let's move on to number 12 on the list. This was Tarasova and Morozov's Free Skate, which I put number 7 on my list. This is a weird program in a lot of ways.
It is.
The song they're skating to, Te Amo, it's a weird one. It's not something you hear and immediately think pairs skating, but this is a team that, just their basic skating skills is second to none.
Yeah. And
I think this choreographic team up with Tamara Moskvina, not Moskvina, why did I say that? Marina Zueva, just is really suiting them well. It's a shame that technically they had some struggles, but this program is just gorgeous.
And I have to be honest, this is a case where the technical issues kept it off my list because they were too good for what they did with this program this season. And it was more about the technical flaws than the program. But with the Russian team, my expectations are very high. So the fact that they never really skated this to its full potential kept it off the list. But again, another case where I suspect and hope that this program will stick around.
Yeah. And give another shot. Because, they probably came closest to like Russian nationals, but even there.
It was good. It wasn't peak them.
This is a program that I think that just the potential of it made me excited. Yeah. It's taking pair skating in a different sort of direction. It is really, classic dramatic Russian pair skating, which I've kind of been missing in a way. I love a lot of these teams ahead of them, but it's kind of a throwback in the best possible way.
They've always been a very nostalgic team in spite of the fact that they're currently competing because they do have a very old school Russian vibe.
Yeah. And which is why, when they do the Candyman and thing, it doesn't quite work. And then you get them, skating to some Rachmaninoff and go, okay, this is what they should be doing.
Not everybody agrees with us on that, but...
But yeah, this is a great program, and another one that I wouldn't mind seeing stick around another season. Above that, in 11th, was Kellelang and Johnson's Free Skate,
which I had number 6 on my list. These two were a revelation to me this season.
Yeah.
And it was mostly because of this free skate. They have taken their time finding each other in that they've both had a decent number of partners finding the partner that works for them. Generally not an advisable plan of attack because it takes time, but these two really are a perfect fit.
Yeah, they really came together and gelled this season. I really think in both of their programs, and ironically enough for me, I think the reason that they didn't wind up on my list was because I was really debating between both of their programs because they're both really strong.
I had a really hard time deciding which program to put on here, but I really think that the free skate, in particular, the way that they skated it at US Nationals, really sold me on them as a team. I was feeling it already, but it took it to that next level of no, these two are really competitive in the grand scheme of pairs.
Yeah. Well, and they're skating to the song You're the Reason, which we have seen a few, teams and skaters skating to. It sort of builds and amps up in the drama, and your skating sort of needs to live up to, to have a strong ending. And I think that if you can live up to it in the skating, which, they did at US Nationals with, big soaring lifts up at the end to the music, like it really just shows off, her flexibility. And I think they both really emote quite well.
This is clearly a song that resonates with both of them. And I think that is... particularly with a newer team, a team that's still learning to gel, that if you can find a song that resonates equally with both partners, that really brings a team together. And I think that this program, combined with the choreography and the way that it's choreographed to build appropriately with the music, even though it was risky. There's a lot of lifts at the end, and that could go terribly wrong. We have seen... programs with backloaded lifts sometimes become a disaster because your stamina fails. But they manage to make it work, and it becomes a really powerful program.
Yeah, and was disappointed to, not be able to see them go to Worlds. I think they would have had a good time there, and this is one team that I am hopeful for in the next season. They really just took another step forward this season and have seemed to gel so much that I really hope they can continue doing well.
I really hope they can pick up the momentum from the second half of this season in the whatever season we get this season.
Yeah, and whatever skating comes next down the road. 10th place were Pavlyuchenko and Kodikin's free skate,
which I had number 5 on my list. They're skating to Tron Legacy, which is kind of a bold choice. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily the thing I think of when I think of Russian pair skaters, but it works for these two.
Yeah, and especially in contrast to last year's free skate to the Great Gatsby, which was a poor choice. It did not fit for them. She is a serious skater.
Yeah, she's intense and dramatic and serious. And when you ask her to smile and be lighthearted and goofy on the ice,
it just does not work.
It doesn't work. And I'm glad that they leaned into the skaters that these two are.
Yeah.
Because this works for them. And it shows off how powerful they are in spite of being a young team.
Yeah, because they are very young. But I think this season's set of programs are maybe the best that they've had in the last couple of seasons. The short program's sort of more classical Russian skating, just big and dramatic. And this is the kind of Russian weird that I enjoy.
Yeah, it really is. This is maybe the most Russian weird we've got this season. There's one other program that comes kind of close.
Yeah.
But it really shows off just how capable they are when they're given the things that they're good at.
Yeah. And even things like, having a choreographic sequence where you can pull it apart and say, okay, they're doing their choreographic sequence and they're doing something interesting here, which in pairs, it can kind of be a throwaway sometimes.
It's the same 6-0.
Yeah.
4 things that they all do for their choreographic sequence. And
I get it, but it's nice when you see something different come out.
There's lots you have to pack into a pairs program. You need an element you're going to phone in, I guess.
Yeah.
But a team really stands out when they don't phone in that element.
Yeah. I think that really helps sell it. Plus the costumes, too.
They're great.
Just more cat suits and figure skating, please.
Yeah. I mean, for these pair girls, some of them need to just lean into the cat suit.
Yeah. Just be, a tough, no nonsense pair girl, because that's what she is. And trying to make her a girly girl.
Dressing her up in frills is not going to cover the fact that she is no nonsense, down to business. I want this.
It looks like she could murder anyone on the ice, kind of a pair girl.
And I love when skaters, particularly younger women and girls, lean into who they actually are.
Yeah.
Because so often that is not the case. They try to fit in the box they're supposed to be in.
Yeah. Rather than just saying, no, I'm going to come out and,
I'm going to skate to Tron.
Yeah.
And I'm
going to have fun.
And I'm going to be amazing. And I'm not going to smile. But you're going to like it.
Yep. Exactly. All right. And next up, this will be an interesting one to talk about. We have a 3-way tie for 7th. So those 3 teams are Mukhometsianova and Miranov's free skate, Pong and Jin's short program, and also Pong and Jin's free skate. So why don't we start with Mukhometsianova and Miranov?
A team you guys might not be so familiar with.
Yes, they are a junior Russian team. This is another one. Just the potential is so strong.
There's so much potential in these two.
Because they're technically strong. They have some really strong, side-by-side jumps and great throws and things. But more than that, they have such character on the ice.
They are skating to chess.
Yep, the musical.
Not enough people skate to chess. I'm going to say it. There was a moment for chess where lots of people skated to it, but it has been a long time.
It's kind of the perfect like throwback music where yes, it's cheesy as all get out. Yeah. It is way over the top, but if you can lean into that,
they're wearing checkerboards on their costumes. They leaned into the cheese, but it's also big and dramatic, which Russian teams, there's no denying that they're good at big and dramatic.
Yep. Yeah, it's such a shame that technically they faltered a little bit in the second half of their season and didn't get to go to Junior Worlds, because I think they could have been a real, player there. But I love this free skate so much. I really liked both of their short programs too, because they had two different ones. But this free skate especially just shows off not just the technical side of their skating, but again, they are portraying characters through this whole thing and they never lose it.
Yeah, and this is another young girl from Russia leaning into who she is. She's not putting on airs being frilly. She's saying, no, this is chess. This is a dark musical.
And I'm here to win this game.
I'm going to win this game of chess and I'm going to be angry. And I love it. Yeah. It's great.
This is another team. I just hope they can stay healthy and thrive next season, because watch out for them on the junior ranks. They're, not quite ready to move up. Obviously, the field of Russian pairs is quite intense right now, but
it's more than quite intense. Yeah. It's a minefield.
Yeah. But, maybe junior world champions next year. I could kind of see it.
I could definitely see it, assuming our current junior world champions move up, which
probably,
but then
it's
again,
always a giant question mark.
Who knows?
Though.
Because Russia.
Yes. So that's one of our 3 tied teams, and then we also had. So I put Pong and Jin's short program number 4 on my list,
and I put Pong and Jin's free skate number 4 on my list.
Which this is not the first one of these you're gonna see. Just spoilers.
Yeah, this is the most us thing though, where I think I can reasonably speak for both of us when I say we love both of these programs, and we knew Pong and Jin deserved to be 4th.
Yes, but which program?
And we picked the opposite ones. This makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to be able to talk about both of these because, again, they are both really strong programs. For me, I lent a little bit more into the short program, which is to Alegria, just because they, in the last couple of seasons, have got into the habit of doing a fun short program and a more lyrical, romantic free skate. And it kind of depends on which side of those programs you fall on. For me personally, I like the fun Pong and Jin.
Yeah.
If given the choice on all of the seasons they've competed, they've had some really great free skates, but I think I would pick the short program every time.
In general, I agree. This was one where I was so torn. Mm-hmm. Usually, I am very much fun Pong and Jin, but I really think that this Cloud Atlas free skate is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they were so close for me that I opted for more Peng and Jin as opposed to less.
Yeah, it is. And the free skate is to Cloud Atlas. Yeah. And it's a really great piece of music. I noticed a few people skating to it this year when I hadn't really heard it before. I think it is a really good dramatic piece for skating to. And also kudos, of course, to the great Laurie Nickel, who did both their programs.
She always does. Yeah. And she's perfect for them.
Yeah, knows how to pull out these two totally disparate sides of their skating because they are so different. You could imagine easily a team for whom one or both of these programs just wouldn't fit their personalities at all, but they can be both, fun and youthful and, have some silly, quirky choreography in the short program and then just go full, Chinese dramatic, beautiful pair skating in the free skate.
And I really love seeing the diversity in them. Mm-hmm. And Laurie Nickel is so great. She gives them such interesting programs. And even though the free skate is more traditional pairs free skate, in air quotes, there is still a lot going on that is a little bit unexpected. Mm-hmm. It's not your run-of-the-mill pairs program. And part of that is Pong and Jin being amazing skaters, and part of that is Laurie Nickel seeing that they're amazing skaters and going, what can I give you?
Yeah, that's sometimes you just have these perfect matchings of a choreographer and a skater or team, and you just see like they get each other.
Yeah.
They know. Laurie Nickel knows what this team is and what she can pull out of them.
Yeah, she knows exactly how far to push them to get the best out of them.
Yeah. And there are times when I think, I wish we had more Laurie Nickel programs. But if we're going, quantity versus quality, the quality of what she's been putting out with the pair teams, the Chinese pair teams this last couple seasons is just so strong that I'm okay with getting only a handful if they're going to be this good.
Yeah, if she's only going to work with teams or skaters she really understands and give them gold, I can live with less programs.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very glad that both of these wound up on the list and that, we're able to talk about both because I think both deserve to be discussed. Moving on, number 6 on our list is another junior team, another junior Russian team, Popelova and Pleshkov, their short program this season, which I had number 6 on my list.
And I had number 9 on mine.
This is just such a fun, cute, junior appropriate program.
They are adorable.
Yeah.
Their Volosojar and Trenkov free skate costumes
yes.
is so cute, but we're not talking about the free skate. I just had to shout that out again in case you don't listen to our junior episodes.
Yes.
Because they're too cute.
That's the thing. They're really young, and this is more of a sweet team. This isn't a Russian drama team. They sort of go for the Russian drama in the free skate, and it works pretty well. But I just love this short program too. Love, Love. It's just adorable and sweet, and again, it feels junior appropriate
without feeling childish.
Yeah.
It feels sweet. And it's perfect for two teenagers to come out and skate a sweet program with killer elements.
Yep. Including one of the best death spiral entrances I've seen in a while. Just that moment. I want more teams to steal that. I don't even know how to describe the move she does with the leg and moving into just go watch it.
You just need to watch them. They're so high up on the list. How could you not watch them if you haven't seen this program before?
That's the other thing too. We had very little agreement on programs. This was one of the few that we both agreed on, and yeah, this is another team who had their technical struggles this season.
Yeah.
But especially at Russian Nationals, where, what did they finish? 5th, I think?
I think
I'm
so.
trying to remember. Really high up at Russian Senior Nationals, which is a competition and a half.
That's tougher than Worlds.
Yes, frankly. Yes, it is.
I'm sorry to literally every other senior pair team, but Senior Russian Nationals in pairs is tougher than Worlds. Because... have you noticed how many Russian programs there are on this list? There are more.
Yeah, another recommendation. Just go back and watch this year's Russian Nationals for pairs. It was so good, you guys.
It was so great. And so many junior teams rose to the occasion.
Yeah, especially these two. And it's good to see them, skating well element-wise. But even at times, they had their second Grand Prix where they had a twist disaster.
Yes.
And this whole program wound up being kind of a disaster. Even so, there are still good things to pick out. And you can see they're trying to get involved in the program.
Yeah, and there is an attention to the music.
Yep.
They are not the world's most emotive skaters, but they're juniors. And their technical capability is through the roof.
Yep.
That's all I ask of juniors. Try and emote.
Yep.
And show me that you have technical potential. That's what I want from juniors. And they have both of those things in spades.
Yep. And again, the choreographer for this, Tatiana Druchinina,
she choreographed a lot of these Russian programs, FYI.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing, knows how to show off a team, and again, play to their strengths. All right. And then we're moving on to a tie for fourth place. This is another one where we have Boykova and Kozlovsky's short program and Boykova and Kozlovsky's free skate. I had the short program number 2 on my list.
And I had the free skate number 2 on mine.
Yeah, this is another one where...
both programs are perfect.
Yeah, how do you choose between the two?
And I will give you my reasoning. It is the same as Pong and Jin. Why would I pick less over more? Because both of these programs are amazing.
They really are. I think for me, I went the way of the short program to my way, just because it shouldn't work, this program.
It really shouldn't.
It's a really cheesy instrumental cover of My Way in like the pretty powder pink outfits. Like it feels like it should not work at all. And yet somehow, like, it just gets me emotional every time they skate to it.
And then you add in my favorite moment in pair skating. I gotta be honest, that entry to their death spiral.
Yeah, it is just so cool.
It's my favorite. I love it so much because these two, if you forgot, last season was their first senior season.
Uh-huh.
And they might have won Worlds.
Yeah.
Had it happened.
Yeah. Had a very good shot of being on the podium at a bare minimum.
Oh, I was expecting them to be probably first or second.
Yeah.
If they had a bad day, they might have been third.
Yeah.
They are that good, but they are young. And somehow this really like cheesy old school short program works.
Yep. That's the thing. It's cheesy, but they sell the emotional moments. Like, you know, the crescendo of the music with the lift where she's got the arm out to the audience. It's cheesy. And yet for somehow it just drags me in every single time.
These kids are committed, whether it's My Way or the writing on the wall from James Bond. Disparate programs that both work so well for them.
Yep. And I think the good thing about the free skate too is that it really shows him off as well, not just her.
And that was one of the biggest things for me is she can sell whatever you give her.
Yeah.
She can skate to Morse code and she would sell it. He sells less well than she does, but that's an awfully high bar.
Yes. He needs a character. Yeah. And obviously James Bond is a real character to play.
If a little ironic, played by a Russian.
Yes.
But, you know, whatever works. It's fine. We're not going to think about it too hard.
I mean, they're just enjoying themselves. And again, there's little choreographic moments, again, into the death spiral, or out of the throw. Just...
They think about every moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they commit to every moment.
Yeah.
And then you throw in his reaction every time they did this free skate well.
Yeah. And
it is the perfect little bow on the package that is this free skate.
Yeah. I mean, there have been so many James Bond programs throughout the years, but this feels fresh and youthful, even though, you know, the James Bond theme at the end is, you know, like 50 years old now. But
it's a cliche in skating at this point, and it should feel trite, and it doesn't.
Yeah. And I think that's the main thing about both their programs is that they take sort of traditional material and just make it feel new and fresh, which is a really tough thing to do.
And then they nail all their technical elements on top of that, because why not be perfect?
And do it with style and confidence. Both of them just look utterly confident in everything they're doing.
They are sure of themselves, start to finish. There is no hesitation, which, especially in the free skate, is really important. Mm-hmm. If you are going to skate to James Bond, you cannot doubt yourself for half a second.
Yep.
Or you lose the character entirely. Mm-hmm. And they never do.
Yeah.
She pretends to shoot the judges like more than once.
Or no, it's the
neck slice
across the neck. I would have loved one of the like threatening to shoot the judges. Guns. Yeah, but
serious finger guns, not silly finger guns. There's a difference. Comes down to whether you use one finger or two.
Well, also whether you've got it with a goofy grin on your face, or you're coming right up to the judges like, "No, I'm gonna come shoot you, judges. Give me the marks I deserve.
Give me 10s."
Yep. All right. And so obviously both of us had them second on our list, but they did not make the top 3. Our top 3 is kind of a fascinating one. I wouldn't have predicted it.
Is. I am shocked by spots 2 and 3. Let me be clear.
Yes.
Number 1, you guys know what's coming.
Yeah. But number 3 is Kirsten Boer-Towers and Michael Marinero's short program, To Love on the Brain. I put it number 3 on my list.
And I had it number 8.
And again, this was one of very few that we agreed on. But I think that this just sort of marked a new period of their skating.
Yeah.
We've talked before about his struggles technically, and that sometimes affecting the program. But this short program, I think, is the best thing they've ever done.
Yeah, it's taken them a little while to figure out what he sells well, because Kirsten sells everything to the 10s. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can, again, give her Morse code. It's fine. He needs the right piece of music to pull out the performer in him. Mm-hmm. And this really did.
Yeah, it's a piece that, I haven't heard somebody skate to before. It really shows off, the connection and relationship between them. Mm-hmm. This is another Julie Marcotte one with some really interesting bits of choreography, particularly right up at the beginning, and then the sudden ending where they're like lying right on the ice.
Yeah.
That ending in particular is such a dramatic moment that it's so simple, but it just makes you gasp, like, oh, where did that come from?
It's also very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Because we've mentioned dying on ice in the past.
Yes.
This is their little cheat around dying on ice, because you're not allowed to do that anymore. Particularly in ice dance in like the 80s.
Yeah.
People used to just lie on the ice to end their program.
Literally. You think we're joking, go look up. There's some like fluff piece.
There's a montage of called Dying on Ice, that's how people used to end their programs, and eventually the ISU was like, you can't do that anymore. We're done with Dying on Ice. And so now Julie Marcotte is like, how can I get around the Dying on Ice rule to make a really dramatic ending?
And that's the thing, it does work.
It does. It shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah. That's the thing. This is a great piece of music for them. I think his confidence in particular really helps. He looks comfortable with this whole program, and they just are, easy going through. It feels, like there's a real interplay between them in the choreography and the emotion of the program, even though obviously it's chock full of elements.
It feels like the elements are secondary to the program. Mm-hmm. And that's the first time I've ever seen that from these two. Yeah. They've always been very element focused because they've had technical issues in the past, but they've settled into this partnership enough that they can focus on the performance and the program itself.
Yeah, this is maybe the first time ever in their partnership where, for me, I watch this short program and think, no, this is an equal partnership.
Yep.
They match well together. They're both doing their part. They both look comfortable with the choreography and the elements, and that makes all the difference in the world in pairs.
And Michael catches my attention, which he doesn't normally do.
Yeah, I think this really shows off both of them really well.
Kirsten is
always a star.
She's always a star. She's eye-catching regardless of what she's doing. Mm-hmm. But again, Michael needs some help in that department sometimes, in part because he can rely on Kirsten to sell the program.
Yeah.
But by giving him something that suits him so well, they've brought out the performer in him.
Yeah, I will be very interested to see, again, whether they just keep these programs or if not, if they can top it or what they'd want to do next. Because I think this direction is heading in the right area for them. Yeah. This is what you should aim for. And whether you can do something better, who knows? But
they've found their niche.
Yeah, and it sort of gave me a newfound appreciation for their skating. Yeah. They seem sort of like a new team in some ways this year.
Yeah, this was a really smart choice for them.
Yeah. And second place on our list, another Russian junior team.
Our last Russian team.
Yep. Panfilova and Rylov's short program to The Matrix, which I had number 6 on my list.
And I had number 3. I love these two.
Yeah, they're just so great. And I think for me, it ended up being a little lower on my list just because I kept going back and forth between both of their programs. Yeah. I really love both of them. But I think this Matrix short program is a really different look for them.
Yeah, it's intense.
Mm-hmm. It feels much more mature since obviously they're juniors. They're juniors on the young side too. This was their third junior Grand Prix season. They finally won Junior Worlds this year, which finally
they've got that monkey off their back because they've been contenders for the Junior World title since they showed up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Especially she is very young and tiny, and like in the free skate, they do just gorgeous lyrical program, and it really works for them. But I think this Matrix program makes it feel so much more mature than the free skate.
And I think it's what gives them the advantage in a lot of ways over the other junior Russian teams who are the other teams fighting for the podium at Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
That's how junior pairs works. Hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
But that, I think, is really the number one thing that sets them apart, because all of these junior Russian teams have amazing technical content. Mm-hmm. Theirs is especially amazing. But they're all...
minus the side-by-side jumps, which is why they need a killer program.
They need that little bit of an extra edge. And by showing how mature they are and how great they are as performers, especially with the dichotomy of their two programs, it gives them that advantage to maintain the lead that they get in all of the elements except for the side-by-side jumps.
Yep. Well, and I think too it's showing off a new side of her skating, because she can do lyrical and beautiful really well, but you watch her in the Kiss and Cry and she is one serious teen.
She is so serious and she gets so angry whenever they make a mistake.
Yeah.
She does not settle for anything less than perfect.
Exactly. And that's why like a serious, intense action hero
program.
Intense character really fits well with her, and you believe it when she's skating to it, because in some way this feels more real to her personality than
and then she shows up and is a pretty ballerina in the free skate, and you get the sense that it's a performance, where this feels very natural to her, especially.
And great step sequence in the middle of it, which I love.
It's so great.
And I mean, their technical elements are always second to none. The lifts and the throws and the twists.
The twist
they're so big that they add to the performance of anything they skate to.
Yeah, they come out and they open with a twist that's big enough for a quad, even though they're not allowed to do it.
Well, in the free skate they could.
Yeah,
but
it's not done in junior competition.
Well, frankly, it's not done anymore. Although I would kind of hey guys, the quad twist, the ISU reduced the base value of quad throws, but not really the quad twist. You need to make up for those side-by-side jumps.
Exactly.
Maybe you could think about it. They could fit it in there.
Easily.
Yeah.
She gets so mad when they get a level 3 on their twist. That is how good it is. Because she knows, I probably didn't split my legs quite enough. Or
the steps going in weren't good enough.
There was a little bit of too much of a separation. Which they can do a level 4 twist in their sleep, which is why she gets mad when it's a 3, which is, I think, the worst I've ever seen it, is a level 3 with a +4 GOE.
Yeah, they have one of the best twists in the world. And again, even though the side-by-side jumps are an issue, I really think just move up to senior.
How many pairs accidentally pop their side-by-side jumps every week anyway?
Exactly.
You might as well just do the doubles that you can do.
Do some doubles and look into a quad twist, because again it's so big. I think they could do it with some ease.
I really don't think it would be that hard for them to add an extra revolution to that twist.
Yeah, no.
It's it is comparable to Volosojar and Trankov's.
Yeah, no,
at the height of their career.
That's what I mean. One of the best twists I've ever seen, period. Just flat out.
It's kind of terrifying to see it in person.
Oh yeah, it's enormous.
You wonder if she's ever coming down.
Yeah.
Because it is so high. These two were amazing. If you are not watching junior pairs, what are you doing?
At the very least, watch the Russians. Okay, I get, the others, but...
Watch the Junior Grand Prix final.
Yes, exactly.
There were 5 Russian pairs.
And we didn't quite have all of them on this list, but we came close.
And they all could have been on this list.
Yep.
Because they're all great.
Yep. All right, but that's enough gushing about Pamphila Van
That's only number 2.
Yep, exactly. Our number 1, I'm sure you all could guess, and in some ways this felt to me like a bit of a cheat, but at the same time, is there any argument that Sui and Han's free skate is still the best program of the year?
It's perfect.
Yeah, they're one of the best pairs programs of recent memory.
Also, it's not like they skated it 70 times over 2 seasons.
Well, yeah, they literally only skated it twice last year.
Yeah,
so
they skated it a total of like 4.5 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine that it's number 1 2 years in a row. I don't care.
Yeah, it's just so good. Again,
That
Lori
opening, I don't know where Lori Nickel came up with the idea for that opening, but it's genius.
Yeah, just that and their basically character step in the middle.
Yep.
The ending of the throw into the death spiral where she does not even put her foot down. It is a masterpiece of interesting choreography that suits the skaters and just technical mastery. Because again, you can't do that perfect throw landing without putting your foot down straight into a gorgeous death spiral unless you are masters of your craft.
If you don't have perfect edge quality, you can't maintain the speed needed to get a level 4 death spiral, which they usually do.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable watching this program.
I get so mad every time they don't get 10s in transitions with this program.
10s across the board.
But especially transitions.
Yeah.
Because they are innovative and difficult and chock full but suit the music. Literally, what more do you want from these people?
Yeah, this program is a masterpiece, like one for the ages. Some of the best pair skating ever. I mean, we talked about, the technical mastery of Pamfilova and Rylov. Sui and Han are the same in a lot of ways. They struggle sometimes with the side-by-side jumps, but everything else is so good. And they have done quad twists and quad throws.
Yep. And both of these teams could not care less what your side-by-side jumps look like as long as you don't hurt yourself.
Exactly.
I don't care. Everything else is so great, and everything between the elements has attention to detail, which is so often lacking in pair skating because there are 7 bajillion elements in that free skate.
Well, and the other hilarious thing to me was they did an interview talking about, picking the music for this free skate. And she was saying, I didn't really like it that much, but he wanted it, so I went along with it. You would never know.
You would never know. And her hair somehow manages to complement it perfectly. It's like her hair is sentient and so she can move it because
she has control over all parts of her body,
literally including her hair.
It is just awe-inspiring to behold this program. I am still heartbroken that
they didn't get to go to Worlds.
Well, more that we didn't get this is it. There are, we've been fortunate enough to see lots of skating live.
Skate Canada International is very often in our home province or the province next to it.
Yep, or even Autumn Classic. We've seen lots of skating live. To be fair, there are lots of skaters I've never seen live, but there's none I so desperately want to watch live than Sui and Han. It did not happen.
This is a bucket list team. This was supposed to happen this year.
A bucket list team and a bucket list program. Could you imagine?
Can you imagine how much I would have cried? Regardless of how well they skated it by the end of this program. Because it's perfect.
Yeah.
I will never be over the fact that we didn't get to see it live.
I know. If there's anything I regret about Worlds being canceled, it is missing seeing this program from Sui and Han. That is, for me, the absolute number one, bar none. There are other things, but this is the one.
Yeah. This is my favorite program of the season, period, across all disciplines.
It's the best pairs program of, I don't even know how long. I can't even think of anything that...
I can't think of a program that competes with it for me. It is so innovative and special, but there is such technical mastery.
Yep. I
can't imagine doing something better, but I say that about these two every time, and then they beat it, and but I don't know what more they can do. But I know Lori Nickel's been spending the last 2 years thinking up crazy things to ask them to try.
Yeah. As long as they can stay healthy.
Please.
Sui and Han for Olympic Champions 2022. I speak it into existence. Like, I love all you other teams, but Sui and Han.
Well, it's going to be at home.
Exactly.
They haven't won it yet.
Exactly. It needs to happen. She's had so many injuries.
We need to let the girl retire in peace with her ankles intact, hopefully.
Exactly.
So we need to let her win the Olympics.
Yeah.
Please.
That's all I ask of the universe.
If I don't get to see her in person, I need to at least see her win an Olympic title.
Exactly.
That is the only thing that comes close to a consolation for quite probably never seeing them in person.
Yeah. Well, that's sad adding to this list, but oh boy.
Wow, I was not expecting to have that conversation to end this episode, but we did.
Yeah, it did not mean for this to be a bittersweet list, but I mean, just to wrap up, like I said, I'm concerned about pair skating for next season. I love pair skating so much, and it's had some struggles in the last couple of seasons. This is not going to help things,
and when pairs is good, it's one of my favorite disciplines. But when pairs is bad, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't. I have a really hard time watching bad pairs programs because I fear for the life of the lady.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about for next season.
Yeah, so we will see. I hope that we're being overly concerned and it'll all amount to nothing.
Please prove me wrong.
Yes, exactly.
This is the moment I have wanted to be proven wrong more than any other time.
And who knows, maybe, we will see some magic programs from teams next season.
That would be really nice.
Yeah. That's all whatever skating we get next season, I'll appreciate, but hopefully there's some, bright light in pairs, something to keep us going and say, yes, there is a future to pair skating. I think the fact that there's so many junior teams and young teams on this list is hopeful. The fact that most of them are Russian, less so. The rest of the world, we got to catch up a little bit.
Or some of these Russian teams try and get released and move to Ukraine.
That too. Or whatever other country will take you.
Most countries would take you.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest. But, Ukraine, Georgia. Move to Georgia.
Yeah.
So Georgia can win the team event at the Olympics.
True. Very true. All right. I think that wraps us up, though, for this pairs list. And again, we'll be back in about 2 weeks' time with the dance, senior and junior, although they'll be separated.
Episodes.
I guess we'll probably do senior first.
Or should we do the junior first and make them wait for the senior?
That is the question. Give us your opinion. Do you want junior dance or senior dance first? Because there will be separate lists. There's too much good stuff.
It was hard enough to narrow the juniors down to 10.
Exactly. All right. So I think that wraps us up for this one. Thank you all so much for listening. And thanks as well to our sponsor, InSkate. Check out the link in our description to get started with InSkate. Please let us know your thoughts about This Week in Figure Skating at flutzescast@gmail.com. You can also follow us at Flutzescast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for even more skating content.
Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Flutzescast for bonus skating content. We post there on the weeks we don't post here. So if you want something every week, that's the place to be. And our merch store, flutzescast.redbubble.com. And if you like what we do, consider leaving us a review wherever you're listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the second to last of our season's best lists. But until then, keep a watchful eye out for those Flutzes and Waxels skating fans.